Hi everybody, I'm in a plant. It's Theia, welcome back to Garden Goddess Tarot. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today is the first video in a new series that is so exciting. Garden Arcana. Candy from Candy Soul and Soil and I have been chatting, and we really wanted to be able to take tarot and put it in the garden. Take it outside, take tarot into real life. And we came up with this wonderful idea of a series of videos called Garden Arcana, where we work our way through the majors of the tarot, 3 cards at a time, like one per week, and like one group of 3 cards per week, and find those energies within our gardens and share them with you. So very excited to get started today. Today's gonna be the first video in that wonderful series. Sorry, I just got the dogs all excited too. They can't wait. But this tag, this idea just really resonates with my idea of tarot and how I experience it, and how I really feel like tarot is everywhere. Tarot is in the world. Tarot is around us all the time. We just have to look to see it. So this will be a fun little exercise. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull 2, 3, 4 decks, however many I feel at the time, pull out those major cards that we're working with that week, and find those energies in the garden. It can be just the ephemeral energy of the card, or it can be specifically some of the symbolism in the card reflected in the garden, but just a way to really like immerse ourselves in tarot and garden, you know, both kind of adjacent hobbies. Find the links between them and whatnot. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. I have no idea. I have not pre-planned this. So we'll see what I find when we get out there. So let's get your rubber boots on and let's go. Alrighty, we are starting strong with a Persephone reference right here. These are hellebores. I love these dearly. They are a representation of Persephone for me, which is a high priestess energy associated with the underworld. They are poisonous. They're one of the first ones to come out in the spring, and they always are a herald and a reminder of Persephone's return from the underworld, which is linked to the high priestess and the all-knowing of the deep secrets. I found the Empress in this space. This little womb space is something I've been trying to create for a long time. The gardens have been creeping slowly around, but I've wanted to be surrounded with flowers and to be just in a little pocket of comfort and just intense beauty. And I finally created it with this space, and it feels very Empress for me, like a gestational place to kind of reflect and feel my body and own creative power and etc, you know? It's my Empress space, and so this weird womb-shaped piece of grass is the Empress. Another little synchronicity here at a high priestess moment. Just the shape of that egg that she's holding in this realist tarot card just really reminded me of this tulip that's about to open, and we have no idea what's in there yet. We just have to wait for it to be unfurled in good time. I also couldn't get over the boot on the Fool card and my garden boots. I love my garden boots, and that the Fool is a wanderer and a traveler. He needs some good boots, so that made me chuckle. I had a moment with the Magician here. On this card it says trust your tools, and really my most important tool in the garden is my hands. Great manner of work gets done with them. I found the High Priestess again in the arches of my arbor. The 2 pillars with a coming together on the top that one may not initially see. On one side I've got a beautiful rose growing on the side of severity because it's pokey and unpleasant. And then on the other side I've got a honeysuckle growing that smells sweet and reminds me of the Pillar of Mercy on the High Priestess card. Through the other side, the veil or the portal between those 2 pillars can be seen, and it as an entryway, a gateway into the secrets of the garden. which in this case is the womb space of the Empress that we talked about before. Oh, it's so beautiful. This little bit is just a cute little picture of some lungwort, which I really like, but then it reminds me actually of the Magician. The Magician's an air card, and lungwort is associated with lungs. Its Latin name is pulmonaria, so it's a representation of breath and the breath of creation that the Magician leaves in his stead. So there you go, he's hidden in there too. I'm going to read you just a little bit from the Surrealist Tarot Little White Book on the Magician, because I think it's quite good. It says, Mundus est fabula, which means the world is a play. Revolutionary use of the art of appearances, fantasy as an ignorant fairy capable of a kind of magic whose sense sometimes escapes her. I do not search, I imagine. The High Priestess follows on to say, clairvoyance, a return to inner sources, poetry through which life's actions appear with a force that is totally brand new. Things follow their natural course. They grow and mature within my spirit. And the Empress at last comes as the giantess, creative frenzy, an unsettling muse capable of revolutionizing the course of a lifetime. I also want to share a lovely little story about these little rock piles I've got kind of hidden all over the garden. They may look just like innocent piles of random bits of rock, but for me, they're actually little Hermae. Hermae were found in ancient Greece, even like before Hellenistic polytheistic religion kind of happened. A pre-Indo-European god, very similar to Hermes, existed. And there were little piles of rocks left to mark the way on journeys and travels, which is another reason why Hermes is associated as a god of traveling, of travelers and wayfarers. So he's there. I have my Hermes all over the garden, marking paths and showing the way as a little nod to my boy. And of course, Hermes is the Roman god Mercury, who is associated with the Magician card. So there you go. It all ties into a lovely bow. And here we have the beautiful infinite new potential of a new garden, a fresh start, an adventure, why have I done this to myself kind of moment, with a dog barking at one's feet. That is me. That is I, head twisted and contorted, trying to see the future. But I can't yet. I just have to trust that it's all gonna work out and it's all gonna be okay. Alright, so I found a spot to kind of sit hunkered down in the shade. It is awfully sunny and warm for a spring day, but that's what's going on with the garden right now, and that's kind of where I found the tarot. I feel a lot like this guy, especially with the little dog running around under his feet. The last few weeks have just been a lot of that, like, why have I done this? Why did I decide? But it's all absolutely for the best. So much magician energy going on right now too, where it's like, ideas are great, the full potential is wonderful, but you have to bring it into the real world somehow, and that is in making decisions, making choices, making it real, crossing that line from the ephemeral idea into a real life thing, or at least the beginning of a real life thing. And then with the wisdom of the High Priestess and the creative power of the Empress, it becomes a garden. Not just this garden, any garden. And the garden as metaphor for wonderful place to be. So beautiful. There's another example of the Empress. Super shiny. I love her little diamond nipples there. That's the greatest. But yeah, in like a sovereign kind of way. Not just for creativity, but you know, you are the sovereign of your own personal realm. You get to decide what goes where. The creative energy is power, and it's amazing. And the High Priestess in being that inner knowing. maybe not even knowing why you know. What goes where, what to plant where, trusting the universe to have things work out. That's very relevant in this particular garden, let me tell you. Yeah. And then through the Outgrow Yourself Oracle Tarot is very much, I feel like it belongs out here in the garden also, just the chaotic beauty of it all, the unkept, free energy. Like this fool growing through life. Look at her. It's stark contrast to the Botticelli Tarot, right? Where it's all very polished, very idealized, very just, you know, textbook beautiful, right? Which is amazing, comforting, joyous, but at the same time there is an anachronistic attraction to the filth and the underside of it all. It's like, oh, okay, so the flowers are on top, right? The flowers grow on the soil. They are stunning, they are beautiful, they are pristine, they are jewels of nature, right? But they grow in dirt. Underneath the soil is always, it's dirt, it's grungy, it's grimy, it's full of bugs and worms and all manner of unpleasantness, right? All that unpleasantness beneath the soil is what feeds the beauty that comes through on top. And that's so, oh, that's good. Oh, I like that. That's excellent. Yeah, well, starting strong with the first bunch. But really, how can you not with cards of that sort of energy? Sorry about the noise. The neighbor borrowed our dump truck and he's moving on us. Very sad. We're getting new neighbors soon. But he's dumping a bunch of stuff into the back of the truck, and it's probably quite earth-shattering, but it's nice. I don't mind. It's nice to know he's there. He's a great neighbor. I'm gonna miss him. But anywho, that is first week of Garden Arcana. I hope you've had a great time, and take this as an invitation to take your cards, if even just like a couple of them, with you out into the world, because it's awesome. So nice seeing tarot everywhere, because it is. Anywho, I'm excited to see Candy's video, let me tell you. And I will be back with you next week for another one for the next 3, which will be the Emperor, the Hierophant, and the Lovers. And the Fool also. Oh, Fool's gonna be everywhere. And really, is he not? Is the Fool not everywhere? Every weird idea I have, every blank slate, every patch of grass that could be garden, the Fool is there. The dog nipping at my heels. I'm sure you can hear him running back and forth. Anywho, ta-ta for now. I'll see how you find people in my next video.